In this video, we're going to explore the local storage where we have here, for example, a survey with no and yes values. And if I click on yes, you can see here this increases it. However, if I refresh the page, it will be still the same, or at least it will hold the item in memory. If I clear up, you can see it changes it, and then you can see here the value 12. If I refresh, it will stay again 12. And if I click on this here, let's make this a lot, and then we're going to refresh, you can see it maintains or remembers the item if and grabs the local storage values. So let's start to look how we can do this. So let's look how to use the local storage to update or clear values in Chart.js. First of all, just go to this website here, chartjs3.com, getting started. This specific link you can find as well in the description box. And you can find a link in there, just copy it, which is docs / a lot of stuff. Anyway, once you're on here, copy this entire boiler template here. Let's copy all of this. If you want to understand this boiler template, watch this video here. Paste this all in there, and then I'm going to cut out the title here and put this in here. Save, refresh. There we are. Let's convert this into a pie chart. So I'm going down here and say pie. Plus, I'm going to remove the scales because they don't have a scale. Save that, refresh. So now we have this. I want to remove all the values except the red and the blue one. So let's do that. Let's delete all these colors and except the first two. And next, what I want to do is here, remove all the values, and I will make this one 3 and this one 12. That's fine. Remove all of this. Save, refresh. Alright, now we have this, and what I want to do is Monday should be yes, other one should be no. Or sorry, Monday is red, and let's say red is no, and blue is yes. Imagine this is a survey where we're going to ask if the customers are happy, yes or no. Survey, save, refresh. Alright, this works. Now let's start to work with the most important one. So we have this here, and this is what I call the standard or default value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say constant, and then reset value will be equal to this here. Cut this out, put it there. So then in here I need to have something, but I don't want to have the reset value, but I want to have the value whatever is it like the default or anything that we have in our storage. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to say here two more variables, let answer or answers, which is basically the answers that we get, the yes and no answers. And then we have also another one is a let array. So I will explain that later on, but the reason I'm doing sorry, the reason why I'm doing it like this is basically because we want these to be used in other parts. So basically this hoisting structure gives us a global value that allows us to use it in any block scope in JavaScript. Very important for us, so we don't have to do a lot of extra work. Anyway, what I want to do now is, first thing I want to work with the local storage. And maybe for now, to avoid any errors, I'm going to just say here like that. Refresh, nothing changes of course. So what I'm going to do here is, let's build the local storage. You're going to say local storage. And in the local storage, what I want to do is I want to set a value. And this is set item. To do this, what I need here is the key, and then we have here is the value pair, basically key and value. That's basically what I need. But the key is a string value, and the value could be anything. In this case, we were going to use this, but well, let's grab this for now and put that in here. We're going to set this value in there, and the key, what would be a nice name for this? Let's call it our survey value. So once we have this all working. If I do now a console log, or at least console log this, what I need to do is not set the item, because that's only putting it in. Let me show you. If I save this, refresh, open up developer tab, and now if I look here in our application, we have now this. So you can see here we have these values in here, but now I want to grab them. To grab them, you cannot do console log on this, no, because this is to set something in the system. Now when I grab it, I need to get the item. So I say local storage, I guess like that, and then get item, and the item get is based on the key pair or key value. So we have to put in this here, and if I do now console log, and we're going to show this, save, refresh, console log, there we are. However, we have one issue here. Look at this. This is a string value by default. So we need to convert this into an array because we want an array structure like this. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we need to convert the set item and convert this into a JSON string. So we say here JSON.stringify, and we put in this. So if we save this now, refresh, you can see here now we get the brackets, but it's still not considered an array because we should be able to see the length of how many array items are in here. The reason why it is because we just created a JSON string. What I want to do now is exactly converting the JSON into readable JavaScript. And for that, we're going to use JSON.parse. And parse basically means make something readable for. Well, we're going to make JSON text, whatever it is, readable for JavaScript. That's basically what we're doing here. Save, refresh, and now, as you can see here, we get the arrays. So this is recognized now, and I guess we should have now a first step into working on our item. So what I'm going to do now is, what I would like to do is to put in the buttons. And I'm going to say here on click, and I'm going to put in here 3 buttons that we have. One is for increasing the yes, if customers are happy, otherwise no, and we have a final button, and down here would be the reset button. So I'm going to say here, I guess we could say here survey, and I'll put here number 1, and this number 1 will be yes. But I will not use this, or I will not make that functionality yet. Later on we will do that. Let's put it 3 times. I'll say here no, and the no will be equal to 0, and later on I will explain why 1 and 0. And this one here will be clear all, and it will be clear. Let's make the clear, because that's the easiest one. So what I want to do now is we have this here, and you can see here in our application we see this. To clear this, we need to use basically the clear functionality. So I'm going to say function. I'm going to say here clear or clear all. That's the one we have. And then in here, I'm going to say localstorage.clear. And that's it. And then what we want to do is, because if we would clear it, right now there is no value or no difference in value, but we want to update it back to its original state. What is the original state? The reset value. So what I'm going to say here, first of all, we do my chart update to update it. But of course, between here, I need to first assign in the data sets, data, here the new values, which would be reset value as well for now. So I'm going to say here, my chart. Remember, we're going to the my chart object, which is this one here, the chart object. Then we say data.datasets index 0, because we only have one data set. Then data equal the reset value here. Alright, we have this one. Save, refresh. So now if we clear this, if I clear that and if I refresh, alright, it doesn't work yet. Or no, if I clear here, what I need to do here, refresh this, and you can see the application now doesn't see anymore the item in memory, which is very wonderful. But of course, we have to work more, and what we want to do now is build the remaining items. To do this, we're going to create an if statement here. And the reason why is, if we have, well, we have basically these two here, and these two will help us if we have a existing value, because remember, this is a local storage. If I would refresh, I don't want to get the default value that I have here right now, but I want to get whatever I have in local storage. If there's nothing, then we must jump back to the reset value. That's basically what we want to do. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do here a if statement. And this if statement will check only one thing. Do we have any existing local storage? So we can just grab this part, the get item. I'm going to copy this, put it in here, and what we're going to do here is, well, let me just show you this before. I'm going to say this set, I'm going to remove. We have this, save, refresh. So now if I clear this, I want to go to console log, and you can see here, because I cleared out the application, there's no more value stored in our local storage. You can see here the value is null, meaning, sorry, the computer or the browser is not able to find anything in local storage. Alright, so what would happen if I search and I find nothing? It would mean the value equals null. So now we have something nice that we can work on, because now we can do a very simple statement. If, and we can say this here, or we can even do it without the parse, because if there's nothing, there is nothing, equals strict null, in that case, what I want to do is I want to create a local storage item here. So I'm going to cut this out, put it in there. Then we're going to set something. If the get gives us a null, set a new local storage value. That is this one here, the reset value, which is our default fallback value. Else, what I want to do here, if we get something, what I want to do here is, alright, I'm getting ahead of myself because I want to grab these answers. These answers here should be just the reset value. And let's remove this one here. Then what I want to here, else I want to say here answers is equal to what exactly? Well, the get item of the local storage. Like this one here. But what we have to do here, we have to make sure that this is JSON.parse, because we have to make sure it's readable. The reason I'm doing this is just simply because now I can grab this and put it in here. If I save this, refresh. Alright, so it works, but let me just show you how this works if we do a console log. Say here, nothing in storage. And I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to say here, something in storage. Save, refresh. So you can see here now, it recognizes something in storage. If I do this, clear, refresh, now we have nothing in storage. But if I refresh now again, because it loads automatically, it puts something in the storage. Alright, this gives us basically confirmation that we have this working, and now we can start to update with some buttons here, that we can update the value and get one or the other. To do this, we have to go down here, we're going to create a new functionality. And this functionality here is called the function of survey. Why survey? Remember we assigned it here above the survey. But of course, you can see here, we have here the argument, which is the exact number. So we're going to say here, the argument will be converted into a parameter value. So we're going to say here, let's say index value, because I'm going to work and make those the index value. Why? Remember, if we have something in our local storage, and let's click here, you can see we have the array index 0, index number 1 or 0, and index number 1. And number 1 was related to yes, and this one was related to no. So you can see here, this is the reason why I had here 1 equals yes, because we were going to pinpoint on number 12 in the array. And we're going to increase it with 1 if someone clicks on yes. So let's start to do this now. So to do this, what I need to do here first of all is I need to check here if local storage, let me say here, get item. The reason why I'm doing this is, look at here above. We have here the item, we're going to grab here. And this one here, I guess, let's see here, maybe we should even assign this as the reset value here. If it's null, I guess this should be maybe even like that. And the reason why is, we're going to grab this value here. But anyway, I'm going to test it later on, I think. So what was my point, and that's very important, because here we only have this, we're going to set a value. Alright, and then here we're going to check if we get any item. If we haven't gotten anything, or by we reset it, then we didn't got any item, and we have to make sure we're going to create again an item. So we're going to say here, this will be the survey value equals null to check, do we have something, yes or no. If there's none, alright, because let me just get back here and explain this. This will work on loading. It will load all of this. And the reason why we have to load it here is because we have to make sure that we get the answer value here immediately. But once we have this loaded, then you can see here we're not able to reload this anymore. So that's why I'm going to borrow that same coding structure from above here down. And all we're going to do here, I guess we can just copy all of this. We're going to set again an item, or in this case, truly reset it if ever. So, or not even reset yet. No, this is just setting it if there's none existing. So if it's null, set this specific value, which is our reset value. Exactly the same. And then here we have the same item as well. now we have this. What I want to do now is, you can see here we have the array. And you might say, well, can we not make this more better or more dry? The answer is probably yes. I have to find a way to make this. It's a real struggle. But anyway, once you find something as well, you can always post it or let me know and I'll try to make a new video. What I want to do now is I want to get the array. Remember, we have the array here in the hoisting value. So we're going to put it in here. And what I want to do here is this one here. I realized I have almost forgot about it. Let's make sure. The array will be equal to the local storage here. We force a set value in there. So once we have this, then I'm going to say here again array, and say this array will be now JSON.parse. And then here we're going to get the item. It says this here. So because now we have created this, so we expect now here to have something of value, a get item here. So this is important now, because if I do here console log array, save, refresh. Alright, so this here, if I click on button, do I get a console log here? You should see something. Yes and no, both of them are being shown, as you can see here. Now comes the most important part, is I want to say this array, then we say here, index will be the value index here. And let me just show you this as well, so you can see and understand what I'm doing here. Refresh. If I click on yes, I should see only number 12. If I say click on no, I see number 3. Alright, so this helps us now. What I want to do next, put this in here, and then we're going to say plus equal, which is an increment equal, so it will add this value, whatever is here, on our array. And now, if I do this again, put that in here, let me just show you this, then you will see here the differences. And this, save, refresh. Now we press value, and you can see here as we increase, it shows here 3, 12, 3, and alright, I was expecting a higher increase, am I correct? You can see it doesn't, and the reason why is probably the answer value here. Well, this might be the issue. So I have to check on this, what is going on here. But anyway, it doesn't matter. For now, we have this. So we have the index array, index survey value here. Let's look. What I want to do is, first of all, let's update this, and then I'm going to solve the issue. So what I want to do now is, I'm going to say the following. I'm going to say my chart dot data, and why am I doing this? Basically here the same thing. I want to grab this, just put that in here. But now I want to change here the item, and I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry, because what I need to do is, before I even do this, I want to, and that's the reason why it didn't work, is we need to re-update the item, or basically update the new value by resetting. And I'm going to say resetting with a capitalized SET here, because it's basically set item. We need to set the item again. And the reason why we need to set the item, we have to change the item what we have. Say here, it will be reset by what exactly? Not this anymore, no, by the array. And this is the reason why it was not incrementing. So if I do this, then this new value will be updated into it. And that's why it was not working yet, because it will always get the basic default value or the reset value of 12 or 3 and 12. So if I save this, and then I'm going to cut out this and put that in here. Save. Let's see if we see now a new item. Do we increase it? Yes, there you are. Now you can see it increases nicely. Goes up, up, up. Alright, and here's same story. There we are. So now this works. Then of course what I want to do is grab this here and set the new value in here. And this new value would be basically this. Well, we have to get that, and I'm going to say just, I'm just going to grab this, or maybe we can use the array here. Let's do that one. And I notice that we have a lot of, the code is quite messy, to be honest. Anyway, doesn't matter for now. Save this, refresh. Click here. Alright, we're increasing our values, and I realize it just grabs it when I refresh. It grabs still the old value in our application. You can see here, if I click this, alright, if I do this here, you will see that it should change, but it doesn't, because I need to refresh here. There you are. Then you can see it refreshes. So let's do this one. Put it in here. Save, refresh. Then I'm going to say yes. Alright, now it's increased. If I say no, alright, 52 for yes. If I refresh, we're still at 52. This is 16. But if I clear up everything, we're now back onto 12 and number 3. Here, you just have to refresh again, and you can see no more values. We have removed everything. Alright, so this works. What I want to do now is just to clear up a little bit, or at least, well, let me just test this, because what we have to do is we have to test it inside out. So if I do this or this, alright, and then we clear, and then I refresh. If I clear, refresh, and then we do no, yes, you can see this works. Refresh, and yes, no, clear, refresh. Alright, so all these options I'm trying because you have to make sure there's no errors. And we can even see that. Do we have the console log showing errors? No. Alright, let's clean up some code here. Remove this. And I have here this item here. Reset value is the answer. But do I need this answer here? If I look at answers, we don't use answers here at all. So for me, this has no value at all. Let's remove this. Let's go up here. We have here the answers, and maybe we can put in here, we set the item, and once we set this, we can maybe also insert the value here, I guess. Let's try this. And then we're basically, if this doesn't work, I will just leave it as it is. Let's do an array here. And I'm going to just change it into array. And let's see if I have anywhere else answers. No. So I think we can probably clear up that one. Do a yes, no, clear. Let's clear, refresh. Alright, no errors. There we are. That's beautiful. So then we can reduce our items here, the answers, or so that one is better. We have all of this here, and then answers. Oh wait, I see here the answers is reset value. I thought I removed this one as well, but apparently not. The reset value, if this will be that. Oh yeah, alright. You can see here we have this survey value that gets this, we'll stringify, and then we say here this. Let's remove this, or let's comment out this, save, and refresh. Do we really get an error? Clear out. Alright, refresh, and then press. Alright, then I'm going to clear and then refresh, then press. Alright, beautiful. So as you can see here, that makes more sense. My bad about this. I should know better. Anyway, save this. Now we have everything working here, and there we are. And that's basically how we can create everything with the, I guess with the local storage as well being displayed. So if you enjoyed this video and maybe you want to learn more with Chart.js and local storage, in that case I'm going to recommend you this video here where we create buttons and where it basically recognizes when you select a option that you're not allowed to vote again. So, or unless you have to reset your vote. So that's a quite interesting item as well. So I highly recommend you to explore that if you want to know even more.